from telecom trenches to strategic operations in global tech projects. Miss Lakshmi, welcome to the show.
And research says that almost 91% of companies are engaged in some digital transformation initiatives or the other.
And reading through your career profile and everything, I believe that whatever introduction we gave, you truly deserve that.
This not only increased my credibility, but also solidified the client's trust in my companies.
Wow, that is such a powerful behind the scenes look, Miss Lakshmi.
In these changing times, the best leader are the ones who are the most curious.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of FaceTime with Leaders powered by Directors Institute World Council of Directors. This is the space where we just don't talk titles, we talk journeys. Today's guest, Miss Lakshmi Sujit, has lived one heck of a journey. Literally, from telecom trenches to strategic operations in global tech projects. She spent over 2 decades steering business operations, BSS, OSS transformations, and large process shifts across providers like Vodafone, Aircel, Netcracker, and beyond. But what really defines her story isn't just the scale, it's the grit, the clarity, and the uncanny knack for turning chaos into scalable process. So let's dive deep and meet the strategists behind the transformation. Miss Lakshmi, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. That was a generous introduction, Charu. And actually, it makes me look around, hearing the introduction that you just gave me. I'm just wondering, who's this Miss Lakshmi? I might want to meet her myself. So, on a very serious note, yes, it has been quite a challenging journey. Each company that I worked for, each project, each assignment has been so different from the other. And I'm happy to be here today to share my experience with you and looking forward to a great conversation, Charu.
Same, absolutely. And reading through your career profile and everything, I believe that whatever introduction we gave, you truly deserve that. So, welcome to the show and let's get started.
Sure.
So, Miss Lakshmi, let's start at the very beginning. Can you walk us through your career journey, how it all began, and the key turns along the way, and what led you into the world of telecom?
Right. So let me take you a little into my past, yeah? In my final year of engineering in electrical and electronics,
Right.
I was offered a position with Dishnet DSL. Dishnet DSL were the pioneer company to introduce digital subscriber line technology in India,
Oh,
which
wow.
gave broadband internet access.
Wonderful.
So when I received the offer and I was making this nervous decision whether to go with them or no, my father he asked me a very simple yet very profound question. He said, Lakshmi, if you can't do it, then who can?
Wow.
It was not really a question. It was more of a testament of his faith in my abilities.
Yes.
It was just like, the Nike tag, just do it, just do it.
Yes.
Yeah, so with that boost of confidence from my father, I just went ahead and took up the offer. Happy about it. So I landed up in their head office. That's where I had to report. Head office was in Chennai. And I saw myself assigned in the Network Operations Center. So the Network Operations Center, to my surprise, did not have any ladies till then. Yeah? If I were to take you through a visual description, the NOC is a place like a very big room with bright lights and temperature maintained at something like 16, 18 degrees Celsius with racks of servers and routers and workstations and a big, screen on the wall with alerts, red, amber,
Right.
green, that kind of an environment. And that wasn't really a workspace that can be associated to a lady, at least back then. Yeah.
Right.
But I was thrilled. I was thrilled because as I started working, I realized that um, it is in the NOC that ultimately all problems come and get resolved. So
Right.
being here gave me a sudden importance. I was enjoying a lot of privileges. And as I said, I just loved it. So, from that kind of an environment, with that as a background, entering into the telecom space wasn't really very difficult. It felt
Right.
very natural.
Mhm.
And then I went on to do a lot of roles like network engineer, technical designer,
Right.
pre-sales, and solution consultant, etc., etc. From the telecom, then I slowly focused my attention to provide IT services for telecom. And
Wow.
that was a whole a
New
big
world.
a whole new world, big shift. And with that big shift came challenges.
Right.
Because with that big world, it was big brands, multi-million dollar contracts, a project running over years, yeah. And
Right.
and on the other side, yeah, very specific regulatory requirements for that particular geography, very specific data, digital protection,
Right.
etc., very specific offerings. So the learning was immense, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Wow, that's so wonderful. It's so rich and reflective, Miss Lakshmi. And you brought me right into the room with you. I could imagine myself sitting in that room with so many servers and big screens around me. And not many people are able to take you that far back with such honesty. And I admire how you didn't just share the milestones, but also talked about, the challenges that you faced. And that's where the real story lives. So, and often, you talked about your father,
Yeah,
giving you his piece of his in his way he motivated you. And time and again we're faced with challenges where we don't trust ourselves, but there are the people around us, our family and friends, just one sentence from them and we know we can do it. So
very
that's
true.
that's
Absolutely.
that's
Absolutely.
wonderful, and I'm thankful to you for sharing that with us. So, Ms. Lakshmi, you've led transformations at scale, whether at Vodafone as head of business solutions or at Netcracker across some seriously complex digital platforms. So, when you look back, what are one or two big levers you pulled that created real change? And how did you get the team to move with you?
Right. Charu, let me take you back a decade ago when my company inaugurated its office in Pune. We were
Mhm.
hardly 100 people.
Wow.
And that phase presented a challenge. Uh, it was very difficult for us to bringing the confidence and the faith in our foreign investors and the senior leadership team of this team's capability to provide solutions of global standard.
Right.
At that time, I was one of the key members of the key group, the pioneer group that picked up on site assignments. And along with my other colleagues, both
Mhm.
from India and from abroad, we very successfully delivered these projects. And
Right.
this took me to very exciting geographies. I was in Canada, in the United Kingdom, Singapore, Germany, Denmark, etc. So
Right.
the learning that came in from doing such large projects was huge. I actively took back these learnings to my team and I shared it with my people, and that gave the confidence in my senior leadership to be, having more employee engagement
Right.
and got more people involved in these massive big projects. So I believe I have changed the perception. And along with my team, of course, have changed the perception of the senior leadership and got them to have that kind of a trust in us
Right.
that was earlier missing. So,
Right.
yeah, that was my journey.
Wow, wow, that is such a powerful behind the scenes look, Miss Lakshmi. And I really love the fact that you did not leave your team behind. Throughout your journey, you took your team along with you and you build that confidence in the senior leadership with your team so that, they know that you and your team are capable of handling, delivering bigger projects, bigger results. So that's really wonderful.
Mm.
So, Miss Lakshmi, business analysis is often behind the scenes work, yet pivotal. What makes truly a great business analyst in today's digital transformation journeys?
Yeah, thanks for asking the question, Charu. Technology today is changing at neck break speed. Yeah. The one word that is buzzing in every boardroom is digital transformation.
Yes.
And research says that almost 91% of companies are engaged in some digital transformation initiatives or the other. Okay. Now, if you were to go to a member of the board, yeah, or speak to a director, they, as part of the digital transformation, they would want the sun, moon, and the stars at affordable
Absolutely.
rates. Yeah. So it is here that a business analyst comes in the picture. Yeah. A business analyst should know the long term, short term goals of the
Right.
organization.
Right.
They need to understand what are the requirements, break it down into epics and stories, fill in with technical information,
Mhm.
and provide enough information for the coders and testers, quality testers, to do their jobs.
Right.
So a business analyst cannot be at the back end. A business analyst should be the one who's driving conversations. He
Right.
and she must definitely be in the front. Now, each
Absolutely.
business requirement, the business analyst should know the purpose, the problem that we are trying to solve, the purpose of this requirement, the risk of not doing it, etc.
Right.
And everything
Right.
should be absolutely clear.
Right.
And with the advent of advanced AI tools, it is much more easy for a business analyst to provide the industry best practices, to provide what does the customer like, keeping in
Right.
mind that his likes and dislikes keep changing,
Absolutely right.
and come up with multiple options for even a single problem. So
Right.
with so much of data available, it is much easier and it is faster for a business analyst to be providing that relevant information for the customer to make his choice. So I think that there is a lot at stake on a business analyst,
Right.
and investing on a good one is not a bad idea. Yeah.
Absolutely agree to it, ma'am. It's so clear that business analysts aren't just ticking boxes; they're literally shaping the direction of transformation. And I love how you brought the behind the scenes brilliance of business analysis right into the spotlight. So that's really a refreshing thing. So thank you for sharing that with us. So, Miss Lakshmi, you've earned serious client trust over the years with awards, appreciation letters, and the whole deal. And that too in a high pressure, tech heavy industry. But I imagine that journey wasn't always smooth, especially as a woman navigating a space that's often male oriented, male dominated, I should say. What's helped you build such a lasting client relationship while staying authentic to your own leadership style throughout all of that?
Yeah. Charu, in my project, I lead a diverse team of experienced men and women. And in my daily stand up with them, my daily sync up sessions, I try and find out how it is that I can unblock them in their daily activities.
Right,
Because if they don't run at a speed uh, that allows my organization to meet its deadlines, then
right,
we all fail. Yeah. So they win, my team wins, my organization wins. And if my organization wins, I win. So I believe I'm a leader who is both compassionate and at the same time very strong. I play by my strengths. Just to give you a small illustration, my client is a value-added retail provider, retail of software services in Germany and adjacent geographies. Yeah. Um, their main revenue comes by selling Microsoft-related products and cloud solutions and integrated solutions, etc. Their turnover could be roughly around 6.5 billion euros, and majority of their revenue comes in by delivering Microsoft-related solutions.
Right.
There was a time when my client came to me because they were faced with very stringent deadlines. And that was because Microsoft was launching new products. And all of their team members were already engaged in other different assignments. So we could not really pick this up. So they had a discussion with us. Now, we clearly saw that the business opportunity that this particular situation presented to them, the first mover advantage that they could enjoy. With this situation, I picked up the challenge because all my members were again busy and engaged in pre-scheduled things. Though this was an area that I wasn't really very comfortable, but as I said, I saw the business potential and what it could do for my customer. So the next 4 days, I dedicatedly looked at the offerings, the new offerings that Microsoft was coming up with, they were launching. I studied their product catalog and their marketing catalog, tried to understand the correlation between them, and I tried to see if what are the other impacts that introducing these new offerings would have. And then on the fifth day, I provided the customer with the information that they required with minimum defects. So they were so appreciative because I single-handedly provided all the information that helped them go live. So they were, I mean, this not only increased my credibility, but also solidified the client's trust in my company. So this is one example that I can think of.
Wow, that's so wonderful, Miss Lakshmi. You were talking about a project where all your, you were leading a team of all senior, trained people, and I believe that senior people who are trained are set in their ways.
Yes.
And it's very difficult to mold them or change them according to what is required. And you achieved that feat. So, it's wonderful that you were able to do that. And the way you've navigated both high pressure delivery and personal authenticity, that is not something that just happened, that's crafted over time. So thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Thank you, Charu.
So, Miss Lakshmi, this next segment is my most favorite segment. I'm going to ask you a series of questions and I would want you to answer without much thought, whatever comes to your mind first. So, let's get started.
Sure.
Great. Okay, first question. You have 1,000 emails and 2 meetings in 5 minutes. What's your move?
Okay. I would look at the subject line and the sender. If the subject is something related to one of the highest priority projects for my company, or if the sender is my boss or somebody important from the client side, then I will quickly look into it and I'll acknowledge their mail and I'll tell them that I'll get back with any required information as soon as I can. Then with the 2 meetings, I'd prioritize one over the other. If one is the one where I have to deliver things myself, then probably that will be on a higher priority. And then I will stay calm and just be focused on the meeting that I need to attend to. Because if I'm calm, I cut out a lot of chaos.
That's a great strategy. Okay, next one. Which app on your phone has the highest screen time right now?
When I'm at work, I keep my phone at bay. I only attend very urgent calls. But otherwise, maybe YouTube or Mind Valley, that's a very interesting app for entertainment and information.
That's wonderful. For me, it's my Kindle app. I love reading. Whenever I get some time, I just pick
Very
up a
nice.
book.
Very nice. Very nice.
Okay, so if your team had to describe you as a tech gadget, what would they pick and why?
I don't think I have a personality that could compare me to a gadget, but that's an interesting question. And for the sake of the fun, I'd like to know what my team would think about it. But as of now, I don't know. I have
You
no
don't know
clue.
that? Do you have anything for yourself? If you think you would have been a gadget, what would you have been?
I really know. And that's a tricky question.
Great. Okay. So, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received? And we want this in just 3 words.
Oh, um, three words. Okay. You are more. Okay. To explain
Wow.
it, you are more than the limited beliefs that you have about yourselves. And maybe just by taking a little time out, you can get to know yourself a little more better. So,
That's wonderful advice. And I would take this advice from you.
thank you so much.
Okay. What's something that you Googled recently that would make us smile?
Mm-hmm. Um, Very recently, my little son was composing a song on his favorite star, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh my God.
And I was Googling to find some rhyming words that would fit in his composition.
Wow, that is so sweet.
Yeah.
How old is he? I may ask.
He's just completed 7, so all that little. And we were doing it
Wow.
on an AI music, app. So
App.
that made it more interesting. It made it a new thing for me, and it made it fun for him too.
That is so sweet. Wonderful. Okay, so if you weren't in telecom or tech, what secret dream job would you be doing?
Um, I think I am a performer. Okay, because I show up and get things done. And the second thing is I have this incredible connect with my audience when I'm on stage.
Right.
So, from my past experience, I think I would have been a dancer or a theater artist. Yeah, something like that.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I also would want to add, you look like a storyteller to me, so you can do well there as well.
Oh, you've given me another profession to think about.
Okay, so the last one. What's your guilty pleasure snack after a marathon workday?
Charu, was that a naughty question? Okay. Uh, I'm a little boring here. I don't have guilty pleasures. I have whatever I feel like having, but I eat it mindfully. Yeah.
Wow, that's nice. I would go for a bowl of popcorn. I love eating popcorn.
Lovely. Good.
Wow, that was a really interesting round. We learned so much about you, Miss Lakshmi. Thank you so much. So, Miss Lakshmi, today's digital infrastructure is being tested in ways we couldn't have imagined a decade ago. We're seeing deeply disturbing incidents like digital arrest scams, where unsuspecting citizens are manipulated using fake IDs, spoofed telecom credentials, and impersonated officials, often losing lakhs in the process. Given your leadership in driving secure digital transformation in telecom and onboarding systems across geographies, may I ask, how do you view this growing erosion of digital trust?
Yeah. Yes, it is indeed a deeply concerning situation, not just as a technologist, but also as a netizen. We have taken years to build robust systems, easy accessible data, scalable systems, etc. But now is the actual test,
Right.
test of resilience, test of ethical foundation. Um, the digital arrest kind of a fraud, especially, is a reminder, is a brutal reminder that it is not just technology alone that can build in a secure system or build in trust in people. Along with that, we need to have robust authentication. We must have responsible design, and we must have public awareness. Yeah.
Yes.
I myself I've seen and I have been involved in fraud management processes for a very large telecom provider in the United Kingdom. And I have seen how the flow is designed such that a customer service representative can identify and flag in case if he or she thinks that there is a suspected fraud. He can flag this without the customer knowing. He can provide this information to the fraud management team for further investigation, and he can also ensure that the customer's account is ring fenced, meaning that the end user, will be able to make very minimal transactions during this time of investigation. This is to ensure that the data is protected.
Right.
I've also seen how security matrix plays a very important part in securing the customer's data. So there are definitely a lot of ways that are currently used. And in addition, as netizens, the two main things that we need to keep in mind to ensure our own safety is, as I said earlier, awareness. And the second thing is presence of mind. To increase awareness, I have been hearing a podcast on YouTube. It's called Switch. It's an interview with cyber criminal investigator, Mr. Amit Dubey. And it's an eye opener of the different kinds of frauds that are currently rampant. And it gives a lot of lessons on from an investigator's perspective on things that you should and should not do. So I think that's a beautiful watch. So I recommend that to my viewers.
Definitely, definitely. And it's not just, I would, usually we believe that it's just the senior people who are being, impacted with these frauds, these scams, but it's not that. I know I follow a few people on Instagram who are younger than me, and they are, they are being attacked this way. But I do believe that our government and everyone is doing their best to increase the public awareness. We used to have that before we were calling, you used to get that message in Mr. Amitabh Bachchan's voice that, please be aware of these calls and digital arrest and these scams. So, there is a lot of things happening, but it is, I guess, a person's responsibility as well to be aware of what is going around and keep themselves educated. And what you shared is goosebump stuff, Miss Lakshmi. It's not often that we get to hear person behind the protocol, and thank you for taking us there. So that's really rare and so refreshing that you walked us through the discomfort, the conflict, and the results. So thank you so much for sharing that information with us. And I do request the viewers to go through that podcast that you talked about, Switch, which is called. I'm going to hear it myself and pass it on to my families and friends so that they are aware of what's happening in today's world. Thank you. Okay, so Miss Lakshmi, you recently joined Directors Institute. For someone with your experience, what made you say yes to learning again? And how has that shaped your boardroom thinking?
Right. Charu, one morning I received a call from a very good friend of mine from San Francisco Bay.
Okay.
He is at a very senior position of an AI transformation company. And we were discussing the technology trends, uh, what are the latest things in AI, etc. After I had that conversation, it made me ask myself if I am ready for this transformation yet. If the leaders around me are ready for the transformation, if my country is ready for transformation. And unfortunately, the answer was a big no. So then I started researching what is it that I can do, that I can learn, that would easily, help me fill the gap that I see. It was then that I received an invite for a free webinar to join by the Directors Institute. And attending the webinar was very insightful, especially because it helped me curate the lessons, curate the topics in a way that I wanted that would give me a very seamless elevation from what I'm currently doing
Mhm.
to the role that I want to get at and, to fill the gaps that I currently see. So,
Right.
thank you very, very much to the Directors Institute for providing me this platform. I totally believe that in this changing times, the best leader are the ones who are the most curious. And I am curious. I'm curious about a lot of things. I'm curious about this change that's happening, and I'm still learning. So
Right.
again, I'm so happy and so grateful for the to this platform. Thank
Wow.
you very much once again.
That is a wonderful feedback, ma'am, and I will definitely, pass on this feedback. And thank you for sharing your thoughts on this. And it's very, inspiring to see a person who's already has so much experience is still looking to learn something for, something new and enhance their skills. So that's really wonderful, and I wish you all the best for whatever future endeavors you have and whatever goals that you've set for yourself.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
so much for sharing your insights with us.